is Caralee Robards. She's from Morton, Illinois, and she is currently studying business marketing, and she's planning on attending Southern Illinois University at Evanston, correct? In the fall? Edwardsville, sorry. In Edwardsville in the fall as a sophomore. And her favorite TED Talk is Courtney Martin's TED Talk called Not Her Mother's Feminism. So, welcome, Caralee.
Alrighty, so right now I want everybody to take a second to think of someone that they see as a personal role model. What does this person do that makes you want to look up to them? In the Webster Dictionary, role models are defined as someone who people can or will emulate. That does not necessarily mean that they're emulating good things, but most people would choose to look up to someone that they respect for one reason or another. However, it does seem that so often now we are giving far too much attention to people who do not deserve our praise, especially as a woman who looks to the media so often for someone to look up to, and there we see vulgarity and indecency on front pages everywhere, and that's not something that we should be looking to when we're looking up to role models. Let's give women better role models. Let's look up to classy, intelligent, driven women who not only deserve our praise, but because we deserve to be able to look up to someone that has something to say. I personally cannot settle for just being entertained by people. I want to be inspired. Before we commence the inspiration, though, I would like to talk to you about a couple women who are present in the media whose moralistic standards are questionable. For example, Miley Cyrus. She started off as a childhood star, but has since graduated to a much more libertine audience. For example, at the most recent VMA Awards, she twerked on a married man whilst flipping off the audience with a foam finger. Classy. So, she has since graduated to probably even further stunts, very much similar to that, and she's proud of them. So she makes a career off of that. This is Kim Kardashian. If you don't know who she is, then you have at least heard of her father, Robert Kardashian, who was O.J. Simpson's lawyer. Kim was not interested in the route of education and found other ways into the spotlight, the first of which was a sex tape with her boyfriend, Ray J, which was leaked to the media. She is also known now for her large behind and posing nude in various magazines and music videos. Something that both of these women have in common is that they are objectifying themselves for the sake of cheap entertainment. Right now, I would like you all to think of someone, a woman in your life whom you care about, whether it be a daughter, a sister, or even just a friend. Bring her to the front of your mind and imagine her emulating women like this. How would you feel watching them do this? Could you condone behavior like that if it were that of someone near and dear to your heart? We don't want to see our loved ones and ourselves looking up to people like this. On the other hand, though, this is a picture of Princess Amira. She is a Saudi-based philanthropist, entrepreneur, and the CEO of Time Entertainment Holding. She actually is also the founder of the Alal Bal Tin Foundation, which fights for the rights of Saudi women, because in that country, things that we take for granted every day, like driving and traveling by ourselves, they are not allowed to do by law. So she is a voice for them, where she is criticized and oftentimes even threatened for her views. Her dedication and commitment is absolutely mesmerizing. And as an added perk, she's obviously pretty easy on the eyes. Another lady powerhouse I'd like to bring to your attention is Emma Watson. She's a very successful actress, college graduate. She also recently was announced the Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations, and she just launched a movement called He for She, which is basically an organization that fights for gender equality between men and women and invites men as well as women into the problem that is gender equality and what is feminism and issues like that. She, while urging people to join her movement, she said, "If not me, then who? And if not now, then when?" And quite simply put, I think that she couldn't have said that better, because what she's getting at is that, yes, it is so easy to ignore these issues, but somebody someday is going to have to deal with them, so why shouldn't it be us? Something that both of these women have in common is that they are both livid public speakers who are recognized for their accomplishments. You won't see them posing salaciously or making obscene gestures. Nobody cares who they're dating, because how could you notice something like that when they're spearheading organizations which inspire so many people? We should be looking up to them and taking note of them. They're inspiring. Something that is key with these two women is that they draw off of not fame, but respect for their accomplishments, and that in itself is an accomplishment. We control who we mirror, and perhaps we can influence who others mirror. We just have to rise above all of the crap. We need to rise. Recognize, incorporate, spread, and emulate. Let's recognize the women in our lives who are worth taking note of, who have something to say, and then let's incorporate them into our everyday conversations. Instead of bringing up Kim Kardashian's latest Instagram picture, let's talk about Emma Watson's He for She movement, because that is the best way that we can spread our message. And then finally, let's do our very best to emulate these great women, because of course not every woman in here, or man, is going to become the next CEO of their own company. But we can most certainly set ourselves goals. We can dress modestly. We can respect ourselves and choose to speak up. Respecting ourselves is so important because that is the first step in earning anybody else's respect. We choose what we read, who we promote, and who we emulate. Let's use and harness that power to change not just how we're seeing women in the media, but how we see ourselves and the women around us, what we expect of ourselves and the women around us. The goals that we set for ourselves are more important than the goals that your teachers are setting you, that your bosses are setting you, because if you hold yourself to that higher standard, you're more likely to meet that and be happy with where you are. A deep V-neck blouse will most certainly grab the attention of a room, but it cannot command the attention of a room. It can't harness it. It can't open people's hearts and minds to things that they may have never even considered possible, but you can. Let's show women that they don't want the attention that comes with being indecent and vulgar, because that's the wrong kind of attention. Women like Princess Amira and Emma Watson, those women are worth looking up to. They're classy and they're driven and they're intelligent. And they have inspired us. Now let's go and inspire others. Thank you.